My beloved child, stop right here. Do not scroll past this moment. I need you to give me your full attention right now because something incredible just happened in the unseen realm. What you did in secret when no one was watching has caught heaven's absolute attention. You thought your tears fell into the dark unnoticed. You convinced yourself that your quiet obedience went unseen by everyone. But I tell you today that your silent sacrifice has echoed across the universe and shifted the atmosphere around your life. Do not let the noise of this world pull you away from what I am saying. Heaven aligned time itself to bring your eyes to these exact words today. You did not stumble upon this message by accident or random chance. I guided your spirit to this exact intersection because the season of your exhaustion is finally coming to an end. Take a deep breath right now. Let your racing thoughts slow down. Something massive is preparing to break open in your story, and you need to be awake to receive it. Do you feel that sudden stillness in your chest right now? That feeling is not confusion or anxiety. That is my presence settling over your heart to quiet the storm inside you. For so many months, you have carried a heavy weight behind a quiet smile. You have walked through rooms full of people while feeling completely alone in your spirit. But right now, I am stepping into your space to remind you that I have seen every single step of your journey. If you feel my voice speaking directly to your spirit in this moment, take a second to respond. Type the words, "Heaven sees me," in the comments right now as an act of agreement between your heart and mine. When you write those words, you are declaring that you no longer walk in darkness. You are acknowledging that your prayers have been heard in the highest place. Do not be hesitant to claim this truth, because this is your moment of divine connection. Listen to me very carefully. The enemy wants nothing more than for you to scroll away to the next distraction. He wants you to stay busy, overwhelmed, and disconnected from my voice. He knows that if you stay here and listen, the heavy chains on your mind will begin to break. He knows that the truth I am releasing today will shatter the lies you have believed about your worth. So, I am commanding you to remain still. Stay right here with me for the next few minutes while I open your eyes to what is coming. You have spent years wondering why your life has felt like an uphill battle. You have watched others receive blessings while your own prayers seem to bounce off the ceiling. You asked yourself why you had to suffer while trying so hard to do everything right. But hear me with the deepest place of your heart today. The very delay that broke your spirit was actually my hand shielding you from hidden traps. What felt like rejection was my holy protection keeping you safe until the appointed time. There is a specific action you took that moved the heart of heaven. It was not a grand gesture performed in front of a crowd. It was not something that brought you applause or recognition from the world. It was a choice you made in the quietest, darkest hour of your life. It was the moment you decided to forgive someone who never said sorry. It was the night you chose to stay kind when every part of you wanted to be bitter. I saw you when you sat on the floor of your room and held your chest because the pain was too deep for words. I watched you wipe away your tears so that no one else would see your weakness. You thought you were failing because you felt so weak inside. But in my eyes, that moment was the purest demonstration of faith I have ever witnessed. You chose to trust me even when you could not feel me, and that choice set off a chain reaction in the unseen realm that cannot be stopped. Because of what you did, something powerful is now heading in your direction. It is coming for you right now. It is not another trial, and it is not another season of loss. It is the restoration you have begged for during your longest nights. It is the peace that you thought was lost forever. The doors that were locked tightly against you are trembling at my voice, and no human hand will be able to shut them once I open them for you. I know your mind is trying to argue with these words right now. A quiet voice inside you is whispering that this message is meant for someone else. You are thinking about your past mistakes, your flaws, and all the times you felt like a failure. But I do not measure you by the standards of the world. I do not look at your past to determine your future. When I look at you, I see my beloved child who stayed faithful in the middle of a burning furnace. You have been operating as a silent survivor for far too long. You have trained yourself to expect disappointment so that it would not hurt as much when things fell apart. You built high walls around your heart to protect yourself from being broken again. But those walls have also kept out the joy and peace I wanted to pour into your life. Today, I am asking you to lay down those defenses. You do not have to fight this battle alone anymore because I am standing in front of you as your shield. Look back at the path you have walked over the last few years. Think about the moments when you thought you would not survive the night. Think about the burdens that felt too heavy for a single soul to carry. Yet here you are, still standing, still breathing, and still holding on to a tiny grain of hope. That is not luck, and that is not your own strength. That was my grace holding you together when everything around you was crumbling to pieces. I was there when you poured your heart into people who only took advantage of your kindness. I saw how you gave your energy, your time, and your love to hands that did not know how to treasure it. You walked away feeling empty, wondering if there was something wrong with the way you loved. But hear my voice today, my child. Your capacity to love deeply is not a weakness. It is the mark of my spirit living inside you, and I am going to restore everything that was stolen from you. The season of being overlooked and forgotten is officially over. Heaven has recorded every sacrifice you made in secret. Every prayer you whispered in the dark has been collected and held in golden bowls before my throne. Not a single tear you shed was wasted. Not a single moment of your pain was forgotten. And now, the time of harvest has finally arrived. The seed of faith you planted in your darkest hour is about to grow into a blessing that will overflow in your life. I need you to prepare your heart for the shift that is taking place right now. When I begin to move in your life, things will change rapidly. The heaviness that sat on your shoulders for years will lift in an instant. The confusion that clouded your mind will give way to a peace that surpasses all human understanding. You will look back at this exact day as the moment your life turned around. You will realize that the delay was never a denial, but a holy preparation for a glory you could not yet comprehend. Do not allow fear to tell you that you are not ready for what is coming. You do not need to have everything figured out before you step into your breakthrough. You do not need to be perfect or strong or full of confidence. All you need is a willing heart and the courage to trust my voice today. I am the one who goes before you to level the mountains and break the gates of bronze. I am the one who equips you for every step of the journey. I want to speak to the deep fatigue you have carried in your bones. You have spent years being the strong one for everyone else around you. You listened to their problems, held their hand through their storms, and picked up their broken pieces. But when your own world started shaking, you looked around and realized there was no one standing beside you. You felt the bitter sting of isolation, and you wondered why your genuine love was met with such cold distance. Hear me clearly when I tell you that your isolation was not a curse. It was a holy separation that I ordained for your protection. I pulled you away from crowds that would have drained your spirit and distracted you from your destiny. I brought you into the quiet room so that you could learn to hear my whisper above the clamor of the world. You were not being abandoned in the wilderness. You were being set apart for a divine purpose that is about to be revealed. The pain you felt when people walked away from you was real, and I do not ask you to pretend it did not hurt. But those who left were never meant to carry the weight of where I am taking you. Their departure made room for the true peace and divine connections that are moving toward you right now. Stop looking back at the open graves of yesterday. Look forward toward the horizon, because the sunrise of your restoration is starting to illuminate your path. Stand firm in this moment, my beloved child. Release the doubts that have held you hostage for so long. Let go of the need to control every outcome, and allow my peace to sweep through your soul. The message I am releasing over your life today is a seal of protection over your future. Stay right here with me as we walk deeper into the truth of what heaven has prepared for you. The morning light is breaking over your darkness, and your new chapter begins right now. Come closer, my beloved child. Let me speak softly to the part of you that is most tired today. Breathe deeply and let the heavy armor fall from your weary shoulders for just a moment. You do not need to perform for me. You do not need to put on a brave face or pretend that you have everything under control right now. And because I know how exhausted your soul truly is, I am wrapping you in a quiet peace that the world can never take away from you. I know the secret story of your pain. I saw you in the quiet bathroom when you turned on the water so no one would hear you crying into the sink. You pressed a towel against your face to stifle the sound of your quiet sobs, because you did not want your family to worry about you. You washed your face, looked into the mirror, and forced a smile before stepping back out into the room. You convinced everyone that you were fine, but my eyes saw the deep sorrow hiding behind your eyes. I saw you sitting at the dinner table surrounded by laughter while feeling completely invisible. You listened to everyone else share their day, and you carried their worries like they were your own. But when you looked around the room, a quiet ache settled into your chest because you realized no one was asking how your soul was doing. You felt like a ghost in your own life, giving everything you had while receiving nothing in return. You have been the pillar of strength for everyone in your family for so many years. People come to you when their lives fall apart because you always know what to say to comfort them. You hold their hands through their storms, and you offer them a safe place to rest. But when night falls and the house goes quiet, you sit alone in the dark wondering who is going to hold you when your own world falls apart. I know what your mind is whispering to you in this exact second. You are thinking about all those lonely nights, and you are asking yourself if I was really there with you. You are wondering why a loving father would allow you to sit in such deep emotional isolation for so long. You felt like your prayers were hitting a cold ceiling and bouncing right back into your lap. So you began to believe that I had turned my back on your suffering. Hear my voice in the deepest place of your heart right now, my child. My silence in those moments was never my absence. I was not standing at a distance watching you drown in your pain. I was sitting on the floor right beside you, holding your trembling spirit together when your heart was breaking into 1,000 pieces. Every single tear that fell from your eyes landed directly into my hands, and not one drop of your suffering was missed by my grace. If you feel my warm presence wrapping around your spirit right now, take a moment to respond to my voice. Type the words, "You never left me," in the comments as a seal of agreement. When you write those words, you are releasing the painful lie that you were ever abandoned in the dark. You are opening your heart to receive the comfort that heaven has held for you for so long. Let us talk about the heavy burden you have been carrying for all these years. You wake up every morning feeling tired before your feet even touch the floor. Your body feels heavy, your mind races with endless worries, and your chest feels tight with an unseen pressure. You carry a constant fear that if you drop your guard for even 1 second, your entire life will crumble into dust around you. You have blamed yourself for this constant state of exhaustion. You told yourself that you were simply weak, or that your faith was not strong enough to handle life. You believed the cruel lie that you were being punished for past mistakes, or that you were somehow failing as a believer. But I am stepping into your atmosphere today to shatter that deception once and for all. I am here to tell you that your fatigue is not a sign of your failure. Here is the truth I want to reveal to your heart today. You are suffering from what I call the exhaustion of unshared burdens. You were created to carry my glory and walk in my peace, but you were never designed to carry the heavy weight of the world on your human shoulders. You took on responsibilities that were never yours to hold, and you tried to solve problems that only my hands could fix. You became a prisoner to your own desire to save everyone around you. Look back at those painful years through the lens of my truth. Those quiet breakdowns in the dark were not signs of weakness or spiritual defeat. They were the natural reaction of a human heart trying to bear a weight meant for God alone. Those tears were not wasted water falling onto the floor. They were the holy cleansing of a vessel that was being emptied of self-reliance, so that my divine power could finally take over. So tonight, I am giving you divine permission to stop pretending that you are okay. You do not need to carry the weight of your family, your finances, or your future on your own anymore. I am commanding you to lay those heavy bags at my feet right now. Place your hand over your chest, take a slow breath, and say out loud that you are handing control back to your Heavenly Father. The moment you release your grip, my peace will flood your soul. I saw you when you chose to stay silent instead of starting an argument. You had every right to defend yourself and prove that you were right, but you chose to swallow your pride for the sake of peace. People thought you were weak or that you did not have anything to say in your defense, but I saw the immense self-control it took for you to hold your tongue, and I recorded your humility as a victory in heaven. I saw you when you chose to forgive people who walked away without offering an apology. You carried the deep wound of their betrayal, yet you refused to let bitterness poison your gentle spirit. You prayed for their well-being while your own heart was still bleeding from the cuts they caused. That kindness was not foolishness, my child. That was the unmistakable evidence of my divine nature living and breathing inside your soul. Do not believe the lie that your good deeds have gone unrewarded. The world may have taken your generosity for granted, but heaven has kept a perfect record of every sacrifice you made in secret. Every time you chose love over anger, you planted a seed in the soil of eternity. Every time you gave your last bit of energy to help someone else, you stored up treasure in my kingdom that no thief can ever steal from you. I know you feel tired of being the misunderstood giver in a world full of takers. You feel like people only reach out to you when they need something from you, and they disappear the moment their own needs are met. You wondered if you should close your heart completely and stop loving people so deeply. But I am restoring your heart today, not by shutting it down, but by making it purer, stronger, and protected by my divine wisdom. I am setting holy boundaries around your life from this moment forward. I am teaching you how to guard the sacred garden of your spirit, so that bad seeds cannot take root in your soil. You will no longer pour your life into hands that do not know how to value your worth. You will no longer waste your energy trying to fix hearts that refuse to be healed. I am guiding your steps toward healthy waters and peaceful pastures. Feel the warmth of my love melting away the bitterness that tried to take root in your spirit. The cold season of feeling used and forgotten is melting under the light of my presence today. I am wrapping my arms around your weary soul and drawing you close to my heart. You do not need to fight for approval or struggle to be seen anymore. You are already fully seen, deeply known, and cherished beyond human measure. Rest your spirit in this quiet sanctuary right now. Stop pacing back and forth in your mind, and stop trying to figure out how everything is going to work out tomorrow. The heavy lifting of your destiny belongs to me, and I have already cleared the road ahead of you. Breathe in my peace, let go of your fear, and know that your Heavenly Father is fighting for you even while you rest. The pain of your yesterday is officially losing its power over your heart today. The scars you carry are not marks of shame, but symbols of a battle you survived with my grace. You are stepping out of the shadows of suffering and walking directly into the light of your restoration. Keep listening to my voice, stay close to my presence, and watch how I turn your deepest sorrow into your greatest victory. I want to take you back to a sacred story from my word. There was a faithful woman named Hannah who carried a pain so heavy that it consumed her daily life. She walked into my house year after year with an empty heart and tears in her eyes. People around her teased her, misunderstood her, and mocked her silent suffering. They did not know the deep sorrow she was carrying. One afternoon, she sat at the temple doors and poured out her soul before me in total surrender. Her lips were moving rapidly, but no sound came out of her mouth. She was crying so deeply that her tears soaked her clothes in silence. The priest standing near her looked at her broken state and assumed she was drunk on wine. He judged her without knowing her pain. He did not understand that her silence was not drunkenness or confusion. It was the purest form of prayer a human heart could ever offer to heaven. Her soul was crying out so loud in the unseen realm that every word landed directly in my hands. My beloved child, you are just like Hannah. You have prayed prayers so deep that human words could not capture them. You have sat in your quiet room, moving your lips without making a single sound. The people around you looked at your stillness and assumed you were giving up on your life. They thought your silence meant you had lost your vision, your faith, or your hope. But they did not know that your silence was actually a holy conversation between your spirit and mine. Let us look directly at the fear that has tormented your heart for so many years. You have asked yourself why I stayed silent while you begged for answers night after night. You wondered why doors were slammed shut in your face when you tried so hard to do everything right. You began to believe that my silence was a clear sign of my rejection or my anger. You told yourself that you were not faithful enough, pure enough, or worthy enough to receive a blessing. But I am stepping into your atmosphere today to shatter that deception forever. Hear me clearly in this moment, my child. My silence was never my rejection. What you walked through was a sacred season that I have named the protective delay. If I had opened those doors when you begged for them, the weight inside those rooms would have crushed your gentle spirit. You were asking for quick answers, but I was building an unshakable foundation beneath your feet. You were praying for an immediate blessing, but I was protecting you from a trap that would have stolen your peace. I held you back in love, so those long years of waiting were not wasted time in a dry desert. Those quiet seasons where nothing seemed to move were not punishment for your past mistakes. They were the holy incubation of a promise that is far greater than anything you could have engineered on your own. You were being prepared in secret for a destiny that requires true spiritual authority. Think about how much spiritual strength you have gained during this quiet season of waiting. You learned how to pray when there was no immediate answer in sight. You learned how to stand firm when the storm was raging all around you. You developed a deep endurance that comfortable people will never understand. The delay was shaping you into a strong vessel. I need you to anchor this truth deep inside your soul right now. Stop looking at the clock of the world and start trusting the perfect timing of your Creator. If you are ready to surrender your timeline into my hands, take a second to respond. Type the words, "I trust your timing," in the comments right now as an act of faith. Let those words be your seal. When you release your desperate need to control the schedule, a massive wave of peace will sweep through your spirit. You no longer need to beg for answers, like a child wandering in the dark. You can stand tall, as a beloved heir who knows that their father is working behind the scenes. The waiting season is ending, and your heart is ready to receive. Do you know why the emotional attacks against your mind have felt so heavy recently? Why the dark tiredness in your body seemed to double over the last few weeks? It is because the enemy can sense that your season of delay is over. He sees that the doors are trembling at my voice, and he is desperately trying to make you quit right before your breakthrough. I call this intense spiritual battle the pre-breakthrough attack. The enemy does not waste his energy fighting people who carry no purpose for my kingdom. He targets you with overwhelming noise because he is terrified of the light you are about to step into. He knows that once you wake up to your true identity, his power over your mind will be gone forever. Remember how Hannah walked away from the temple after pouring out her heart to me. Her face was no longer sad, and her spirit was filled with a deep peace. She did not have the physical child in her arms yet, but she felt the shift in heaven. She ate her food with joy and rested in my promise. And in my perfect timing, I remembered her and blessed her. I opened her womb and gave her a son who became one of the greatest prophets in history. The long delay that broke Hannah's heart was necessary to align the destiny of an entire nation. In the exact same way, the delay you endured was not for a small blessing. What I am about to bring forth through your life will bless your family for generations to come. You were chosen to walk this narrow path because your spirit has the capacity to hold a great harvest. A small vessel can be filled in a few minutes, but a massive reservoir takes time to carve out. I carved out the deep places in your soul through trial so that I could fill you with an overflow of my peace, my wisdom, and my glory. You are expanding today. Pause right where you are for a brief second and take a slow breath. Can you feel the shift that is happening in your thoughts right now? The dark fog of confusion is starting to lift from your mind. The heavy knot of fear in your chest is beginning to untie itself completely. My truth is washing over your soul like clean water, restoring everything that was broken. You have sat in the waiting room for long enough, my beloved child. You have proven your faithfulness in the dark, and you have guarded your heart through the long wilderness. Now, I am stepping out of the silence to speak over your situation with divine authority. What was hidden is about to be revealed, and what was delayed is about to arrive with sudden power. Prepare your spirit for what I am about to declare over your life in the next part of this message. I am about to break the chains of delay that have bound your family for generations. Listen closely to my voice. Keep your eyes fixed on my light, and watch how I turn your dry wilderness into a blooming garden before your very eyes. Your moment has come. The promises I made to you were never empty words written on the wind. Every single word I have spoken over your destiny is alive, active, and moving toward its fulfillment right now. Stand firm in your faith, wipe away your remaining tears, and step forward into your divine appointment. Heaven is moving on your behalf, and your restoration is starting today. I am stripping away the spirit of heaviness that made you feel like an outcast in your own life. The years of feeling second best and forgotten are dissolving under the warmth of my presence. You are not defined by the length of your waiting season, but by the magnitude of the glory that is about to be revealed in you. Rise up and be filled with hope. Look toward the horizon with confidence, because your heavenly Father has never lost a battle. The same voice that spoke light into the darkness is speaking peace over your heart in this very second. Trust the path I have laid before you, hold fast to my promises, and know that the best chapter of your life is being written right now. Stay with me. Hear me with divine authority right now, my beloved child. The quiet fog of doubt is clearing from your eyes. The moment of revelation has arrived. I am opening the doors of heaven to reveal why your life caught my gaze. You wondered for months what choice you made that shook the unseen realm. Today, I am lifting the veil to give you the exact answer you have searched for in prayer. It was not a sermon spoken to thousands of people. It was not a huge financial gift that brought you worldly applause. It was the night you sat alone in the dark with a broken heart, and you chose to love instead of hate. You had every reason to be bitter, angry, and cold toward those who hurt you. Yet in the middle of your deepest pain, you chose to keep your spirit soft before my presence. I watched you when you prayed for the success of someone who betrayed your trust. You smiled through your tears, wiped your face, and refused to let their evil change your goodness. The enemy thought that betrayal would destroy your faith and turn you into a cynical survivor. But you stood firm like a sturdy tree in the middle of a hurricane, and that quiet choice demanded heaven's attention. You thought no one saw your sacrifice on that dark night. You thought your quiet restraint was a sign of your weakness. But I tell you that heaven recorded every second of your obedience. The angels stood in awe as you laid down your pride and trusted my hand. What you sowed in secret tears is about to grow into a public harvest that will astonish everyone who watched you suffer in silence. I know what your mind is whispering to you right now. A small voice of doubt is asking if you are really strong enough to deserve such a holy reward. You are remembering your past mistakes, your moments of weakness, and the times you felt like giving up completely. But hear my voice above the noise of the enemy today, because my grace is given to those who remain willing in their weakness. Do not let your memory of past stumbles disqualify you from the blessing I have prepared. I did not choose you because you were perfect or powerful in the eyes of the world. I chose you because your heart was tender enough to hear my whisper in the dark. Your trembling faith is more precious to me than the proud confidence of those who do not know my name. So receive my gift with joy. Now, hear the word I am releasing over your immediate future. For weeks, you have wondered about the phrase, "It is coming for you," with a quiet fear in your chest. The enemy tried to twist those words to make you expect another season of tragedy or loss. But I declare to you today that what is coming for you is my double portion of restoration. The years lost to grief are being repaid right now. It is coming for you with sudden power and overwhelming speed. It is the public honor that will replace every private humiliation you endured in silence. It is the financial provision that will break the generational spirit of lack over your household forever. The doors slammed in your face by human hands are being ripped off their hinges by my angels, and no man will ever close what I open today. Every dollar that was stolen from your hands by injustice is returning to you with interest. Every relationship that was severed by lies and jealousy is being replaced by divine alignments. You will no longer beg for bread or scrap for leftovers at the tables of the ungodly. I am preparing a feast for you in the presence of your enemies, and your cup will overflow with my goodness. Stand up in your spirit and feel the authority returning to your bones today. The long waiting season is officially over. The heavy cage is broken. The door is wide open. I am here with you right now. I am stripping off your sackcloth of mourning and dressing you in robes of praise. You will no longer walk through life as an exhausted victim, but as a mighty conqueror in my kingdom. I am declaring a complete end to the generational curses of depression and anxiety that followed your family. The invisible ceiling that held back your parents has been shattered into pieces by my word. The cycle of pain, lack, and silent suffering stops with you today. You are the chosen cycle breaker of your household, and through your obedience, your children will walk in total freedom and abundance. Feel the divine fire sweeping through your thoughts in this very second. The spirit of fear that kept you awake at 3 a.m. has been stripped of its power. The enemy has lost his grip on your imagination, and his dark lies are dissolving under the brilliance of my truth. You are standing on holy ground, and the atmosphere around your life is being permanently transformed by my presence. If your spirit feels the explosive fire of this divine truth right now, step forward in faith. Speak your agreement to the unseen realm without fear. Type the words "I receive it now" in the comments right now to anchor this breakthrough over your life. Let your words be an unshakable seal that claims the promises heaven has released over your future today, because your turning point is here. Let me show you the reality I am preparing for your eyes to behold. Picture a quiet morning just 6 months from now. You wake up before your alarm goes off, and for the first time in many years, there is no heavy knot of anxiety sitting in your chest. You lie in your bed, look at the morning sun, and realize that the dark fog of fear has completely vanished from your mind forever. You breathe deeply, and the air goes all the way down into your lungs without tightness or pressure. Your home is filled with a soft peace. Your family is walking in health, and your bank accounts are overflowing with my quiet provision. You smile to yourself as you realize that you no longer need to strive or fight for survival, because you are simply living in the sweet abundance of my grace. That version of your life is not a distant fantasy or a foolish dream, my beloved child. That person already exists in my eternal present, and she is standing right on the other side of this moment. The gap between where you sit today and where she walks tomorrow is not measured in years of painful effort. The only distance between you and that reality is one single step of total surrender, and the bridge to that future is not found in working harder or stressing more. It is found in the quiet moment where you finally stop carrying what was never yours to hold. You do not need to construct your own path or force open locked doors. All I ask is that you open your hands, release your worries, and let my grace carry you across the threshold into the place of your inheritance. Do you feel the deep peace settling over your mind right now? That calm is the evidence that your warfare is ended and your rest has begun. The dark clouds that hovered over your life for seasons are scattering under the heat of my love. You are no longer surrounded by enemies, but enclosed by my glory. Look up with confidence, because your heavenly Father has taken command of your destiny. You do not need to figure out every step of the journey on your own anymore. Stop trying to engineer your own rescue with your exhausted human strength. Lay down your battle plans, quiet your racing mind, and step into the safe harbor of my presence. The storm is past, the victory is won, and the sweet light of a new morning is rising over your soul right now, so walk forward in peace. Stay right here with me as we move into the final sealing of this message. I'm about to pour a fresh oil of blessing over your head and wrap your spirit in an unbreakable seal of protection. The wilderness is behind you, the ocean of my grace is before you, and your heart is ready to step into the fullness of all I have spoken over your life today. So prepare your spirit. Now, my beloved child, set aside every remaining worry for a moment. You have heard my truth, and you have felt my presence touching your spirit today. I want you to stop all your human effort and striving right now. And because you have carried this heavy burden alone for so long, I am commanding you to lay your weary soul down in the quiet sanctuary of my eternal peace. You can rest now. You do not need to fight your battles with your own empty strength anymore. I am asking you to surrender the control you have held onto for so many painful years. When you hold on to your worries, you prevent my divine grace from taking over your life completely. But when you open your hands and let go, my quiet presence. The war inside your heart is over. Close your eyes for just a second if you are sitting in a safe place. Feel the warm stillness settling over your spirit like a soft blanket on a freezing night. I am stepping into your atmosphere to quiet every lingering storm and wipe away your last bitter tear. You are completely safe here with me today, and no weapon formed against your soul will ever prosper in this new season. Rest your heart in my presence. Listen to the divine identity I am pronouncing over your life in this sacred moment. You are no longer the exhausted survivor who hides in the dark to cry unnoticed. You are no longer the forgotten soul who must carry the weight of everyone else in silence. I am raising you up today to be a living beacon of my divine light, and through your story, others will find their way home to my peace. You are my chosen child. What you sowed in secret tears during your longest nights, you will now reap in public joy. People who watched you walk through the wilderness will look at your life and marvel at my goodness. They will see the beauty I have made from your ashes, and they will know that your God has never forgotten your name. Walk forward with bold confidence today because your long season of waiting is officially finished. Your time has come. I am placing an unshakable mantle of divine authority upon your shoulders right now. You carry a unique compassion because you have walked through the deep valley of suffering yourself. The pain you endured was never meant to destroy you, but to give you a healing voice that will restore broken hearts. You are going to bring hope to souls who are wandering in the dark, and my glory will shine brightly through you. Do not be afraid of the open doors that are swinging wide before your feet today. You are fully equipped for every good work I have prepared for your journey ahead. You do not need to rely on worldly wisdom or human approval to fulfill your divine purpose. I am your infinite wisdom. I am your faithful provider, and I am your eternal refuge in every single storm of life. Step forward into your blessing. Think about the dark places I have brought you out of over the years. Think about the fierce storms that threatened to swallow you whole when you felt completely alone. Yet here you are today, wrapped in my warm presence and listening to the sweet voice of your Heavenly Father. That is absolute proof that my grace has always been sufficient for every single need of your soul. You survived because I held you. I am sealing every divine promise I have spoken over your spirit during this message today. The enemy cannot steal the seed of faith that has been planted deep inside your heart. The dark lies of fear and failure are losing their power over your mind with every breath you take right now. You are standing firm in my truth, and your spirit is fully anchored in my love. Nothing can separate you from me. Now, my child, I want you to make a sacred covenant with me in this moment. Choose to stand in complete agreement with heaven instead of listening to the doubts of the world. Let your heart remain fixed on my promises, even when the enemy tries to bring loud distractions. You are marked by my grace, and your future is held securely within my hands for all eternity. Be still, and know I am God. I am stripping away every remaining layer of heaviness from your mind right now. You do not need to carry the guilt of past mistakes or the fear of upcoming decisions anymore. I am breathing fresh life into your dry spirit, restoring the joy you thought was lost forever. When you wake up tomorrow morning, you will feel a lightness in your chest that will remind you of my faithfulness. Receive my fresh anointing today. Look at how far we have walked together through this message today. You stepped into this moment with a weary spirit, but you are leaving with a heart full of divine hope. The heavy chains that bound your mind have dissolved into dust, and the dark clouds over your family have scattered before my light. You are standing on holy ground, and your soul is completely renewed. Walk in this freedom every single day. If this message has brought light to your weary soul today, respond with a simple act of obedience. Like this video right now, as a physical act of agreement between your spirit and mine. When you click that button, you are declaring to the unseen realm that you receive my word with joy. You are choosing trust over fear, and you are stepping directly into your divine alignment. Do not hesitate to claim this truth. Do not keep this blessing hidden within yourself like a secret treasure. Think of 3 weary souls in your life who are quietly crying out for hope today. Share this message with them as an act of pure love and a beacon of divine light. When you choose to spread my light to others who are hurting, I will pour an even greater measure of abundance back into your own life. Be a light for others today. Subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell so you stay connected to my daily guidance. I am speaking over your life every single day to guide your steps through the noise of the world. Do not miss the daily bread I am preparing for your journey into this new chapter of peace. Stay close to my voice, and let my words be the lamp that lights your path. I will guide you always. Hear the final blessing I am releasing over your household and your family before we part today. May my peace that passes all human understanding guard your heart and your mind in every moment. May my favor go before you to make every crooked path straight and open every locked door. May my presence be your strength by day and your quiet rest by night. I am blessing your home completely. I am surrounding your home with my holy angels to protect you from every hidden snare. No sickness, no lack, and no fear will ever have power over your mind or your physical body again. You will walk in health, you will live in divine peace, and you will thrive in my love. The dark season of mourning is gone, and the bright morning of your joy is here right now. Receive your healing today. Go forward into your day with a light heart and a confident spirit, my beloved child. You do not need to worry about tomorrow, because I am already standing in your future to clear the way. Every small detail of your life is fully taken care of by the loving hands that created the universe. Rest in my love, walk in my light, and remember that I am with you always. You are never alone. The heavy chains of your past have been shattered into dust, and you are free to step forward into your destiny. You are loved beyond human measure. You are held by my grace, and you will never walk in darkness again. Keep your eyes fixed on my glory, and watch how I transform your world day by day. Walk in peace, my beloved child, for your restoration is complete. Amen.